Yeah.
How did you feel about the Arcana vote winner, the Spectre? How did you feel about that? Deserved?
No, definitely not. Like, we had so many opportunities with Faceless Void, guys. What we have failed as a community. We could have had Faceless Rex, Face Full Void. You know, Valve already teased these concepts before. It could have happened, but no, we've got to let the Spectre win. Why? I would have loved a Faceless Chicken or a Faceless Rex from Courier to Hero, but a little Mace would have been great, Mike. But now we're stuck with Spectre. Yeah, it's like what can you do with Spectre? She's already spectral. What are you
Hear
gonna
me
do
out,
with
John.
that?
Fate, John.
Yeah.
Fate.
What?
That's what we need to get out there. You know what I? That's what I've been reading on
Feet.
Reddit. That's what they reckon. That's what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, John. That's what the community wants.
So she just gets feet.
Yeah.
Like she starts walking.
Yeah.
So she's not a Spectre. She's not spectral anymore at that point, is she?
No, I mean
Like
she's
DP's.
not walking. I mean, you know,
I suppose,
as many other characters, you've got to be floating to really, you know,
I suppose.
show off. I suppose. Boom Esports, they're going for the Queen of Pain. Interesting draft. I mean, this is a very explosive game already, John. These drafts.
Yep.
A lot of big
I'm
ultimates here.
liking it.
This is the kind of game to wake me up before we
That it
before we
is.
finish the night off. That's what I like to see from these two teams.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny here for Boom, right? Like we've seen them do Quap 4 before, we've seen them do Mag 4. Now you've got Quap, Snap, Mag, all of them being flexible enough to be thrown in any role, leaving it real open. 496, and they got the Phoenix Monkey. So their team fight's pretty bloody amazing here. Ravage, Egg, Wukong's command to protect the Egg. You have Phantom Assassin who's melee. Snapfire is an answer though into the Phoenix. That's going to take care of the Egg if you're not careful with positioning. But it's a great back and forth. I think there's a lot of potential here to win out. Now, the Monkey King, I'm not completely sold on. We've seen up and down performances from that hero. It has tapered out of meta for very good reason. We'll see if 496 can make it work this time around. But I think they've got to watch themselves here. Boom. I mean, it's a PA Magnus with a Snapfire on top, right? You get the RP, you get Empower, you get the Kisses off with a Sonic Wave. It's straightforward enough if you can execute. And I think Boom is one of those teams that can. What I want to see is that last pick. What are we doing here? Is it looks like it is going to be a Snap support. Are we going with Magnus off, Quap mid, and then last picking a harder 5? Or is Boom Esports going to do something funky? Say, support Quap, which we have seen them do previously a long time ago, but they have done it before in the pause 4, Snap 5, Magnus off, Magnus mid. It's pretty open, and I think there's potential there for Boom to really be flexible in how to close out here.
Don't do anything crazy, Boom. There's some teams, they see techies in game 1, they get excited, they think they get cocky, and they want to run the techies too. You know,
they've got Magnus
don't do it.
techies.
Don't.
They could skewer, Mike. They could gobble up. No, well, that's on their side, but you know, they could do it if they wanted to. If they were masochistic.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Boom.
Surely they won't, right? Like, unless it's just a Quap Magnus core, then they could do it. They're thinking about it, Mike. They must be having a discussion. Hey, guys. Yeah. Joe Cam's there. He used to be on our team. Prove a point. He made a wrong choice. He betrayed us. He's an imposter. So let's pick the techies to make it hellish for him. Could be the game plan for Boom. The boys out of Mumbai, as I like to read in chat. Gotta love it.
I do love it too. Boom Esports.
Come on, boys. Are they going to random?
Well, why the hell not?
Random.
Could do that. Nothing wrong with a bit of a random at the end of the night.
We haven't seen a random in a long time. I think the last time was when the one-off we were covering Europe. And they go to Mars. Okay, so still pretty funky in what they're doing here. What's their support? And I think that's what they're going to have to show. 496, Troll, straightforward. Troll against PA is a rather awkward back and forth for the PA. Funny enough, Mike, it's a Dat BB Tide Hunter, but it's just as hideous as it tends to be. So it's not. Yeah, it's still ugly.
How does this keep happening?
Oh no, yeah, no, not yeah. It's Masaros and Dat BB both have that ugly set, right? Yeah, it's eh,
Bring it.
I don't know.
Let's bring it up for the viewers. They for anyone that hasn't seen the Tide Hunter set we're talking about. Look at that. Disgusting.
Mm.
Absolutely revolting, John.
And because a Tide Hunter just keeps like getting water out of the mouth, it just looks like a very wet octopus. You know, it's just freshly caught kind of food. Cuttlefish. It looks like cuttlefish, actually. Yeah. Have you ever had cuttlefish? I've actually never had cuttlefish. I don't think.
No, I don't believe I have, John. Not really a
Does it?
delicacy in Australia. I gotta
Oh,
say.
really? I actually don't. Do you eat? Do we eat cuttlefish? I'm not sure. Now I'm curious. I don't even know. I might just be saying stuff. Maybe it's just supposed to be something cute you look at in the aquarium now. And you're not supposed to eat cute stuff, I guess. But now I'm curious how they taste like. So, now catch me in the aquarium diving in.
Aren't you meant to like? Isn't it important to know how to butcher the cuttlefish to cook
I don't
it
know.
properly?
It just looks like a squid, so I'm just assuming, it's a simple cartilage kind of layout. You just kind of, I don't know, hammer away at it. I don't know.
Just stay away from the fish, John. Just don't.
I've had raw sea urchin on the seaside. Have you
Have
tried
you
that?
really?
Fresh, yeah, fresh sea urchin. They chop it up for you, all humane like. They try to kill it as fast as possible. You rinse the inside, and you eat it. It's pretty darn good. Fresh from the sea. Pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Of course,
Really?
the sea urchins are everywhere anyway. So it's not like you're wiping them out. It's just a bunch of people picking them up. Pretty good stuff. You should
Okay.
try it. If you come down here, Mike, we're gonna have fresh sea urchin. We're gonna have a good drink, and you will bring some VBs for us to enjoy that.
Something tells me I wouldn't enjoy sea urchin, John.
No, it's actually a really nice texture. It's kind of like sashimi. It's like sashimi in a sense. Like it's kind of the same squishy fish, but it's all right. And you can see Joe Cam. He's speaking, Mike. Good luck, have fun, bruh.
Man, look at the
The
side
trick,
of
the
Boom
imposter
Esports.
speaks.
Just dead. Oh, FBZ, he'll come in. Gives him the good luck.
Yep. Are they asking for tips? There's no battle pass, boys. So you can't swap tips.
Dota Plus
Yeah,
tips.
if you have Dota Plus, why would you pay for that, Mike? Well, I guess we do because we check the win probability. I'm gonna check win probability right now, Mike. 52% for Boom, 48 for 496 just in draft alone.
Wow. Okay.
Confident assessment here.
No, I suppose Mag PA is a thing, right? Like,
Mhm.
you know, it's Mag PA, and you've got these rather unpopular picks right now on the Monkey King, and even the Troll Warlord not too popular at the moment.
Yeah. I don't know. There's again going back to that troll, which Drew is playing mid, by the way. So we were talking about how funky these lanes would be. It's a lot funkier than I'd expect. It's a top Monkey King here, which is fine. It's a Dat BB off lane Tide, which is fine. Then it's the mid Drew troll, which we haven't seen in a really long time, going up against Mikoto's Queen of Pain. Because it's been so long, I couldn't tell you exactly how this goes. I want to give the edge to Mikoto, but I can see Drew kind of playing with his whirling axis and kind of trying to get some space out that way. But Mikoto should be fine. We'll see how it evolves, but just an interesting choice to put Drew there.
It definitely is, and I suppose it is one way of securing the lane up against the Quap, but I still think Drew should struggle a bit here. Mikoto hasn't opted to go for the Shadow Strike yet, but rather is going for the level 1 Scream, so maybe feeling like he just... Alright, first blood happens top lane apparently already.
Yeah,
That's there's no stuns, John. It was...
Nope. He just ran down. And Bombi, this is his signature Phoenix, by the way. Like, we need to point that out. It's one of his favorite heroes, but look at the bravery of Boom. They don't care. The Fire Spirit's already came out. He respawns, comes back in. It's still on cooldown, and FBZ might drop low. He's out of regen, but they've got that kill, and Hung is also kind of forced to be a lot more cautious with his own last hits.
Bot lane, Jokam is gonna drop. Dreamer's Soul just runs at him.
Assassination is
Just
nature's way.
all right, boom. Fair enough. 2-0 already. We're not even 2 minutes into the game yet.
Yeah.
I wish I saw the top kill. Like they didn't have stuns. I'm not sure how they locked the Phoenix down. They got it done.
They really just ran him down. I was just surprised Bombi was playing that tag. Like, he was spamming the Fire Spirits, trying to space it out, but he was punished. So, got to watch himself there. Of course, looking back at the progress, mid it is starting to... Well, it's actually a lot more even here for Mikado and Drew. So, I suppose Drew is getting what he wants from that lane, but your issues lie in bot. Now, Tide Hunter versus PA should be good for Tide, but Dream Assault's not particularly bullied out. You know, you've got the Stifling Dagger to just find it, and again.
It's going to be one of those games, John. I have a feeling it's going to be non-stop kills in this game number 2 between these two. Top lane, the problem being right now, I mean, they've killed off Bombi twice, which is great and all, and he's going to have to make the... In fact, he's got a TP available. He's fine. But FBZ is stuck on basically no HP. They had to send Hyde back on the Snapfire to the Fountain, and he's probably going to bring some regen back for FBZ. Well, Boom Esports 3-0, just really starting to dominate already in this early game.
And that really helps out their cause. They want to get off to a really good start to enable Dreamocell to just sit back and farm. And, you know, I'm looking at bot, I'm looking at this Tide Hunter plus Rubik lane. On paper, this should stop Dreamocell from finding farm. Right, like you've got the Anchor Smash, you've got the Fade Bolt. You should literally have near 0 damage when you land your spells onto Dreamocell. But again, he's just not under threat. He might not be farming very cleanly, but he's still ahead of your Monkey King. And Hung is getting some space out because it's only Bombi being zoned. So this is not good use for 496 and just the objectives of this lane.
That baby is quite tanky. He doesn't care too much about the tier 1 tower, as Dreamer Soul will just cop a lot of harassment out from that BB on the way out. Kescute might just have to avoid going for the skewer back on that BB altogether. Maybe just aim for the Rubik instead. You weren't wrong in saying Dreamer Soul is going to have a very, very hard time in this laning phase. Fade Bolt and Anchor Smash, and Gush for that matter, is just hellish to try and play up against. There's not really much a position 5 Magnus can do to help you.
Nope. Empower is at least available, so Dreamocell gets a little bit more value from the Stifling Dagger, but not by much. They're going to have to focus on stacks here, Boom down the line. Now, one saving grace for this is that Mikado has completely won out mid now, has some good amount of levels. You can see Drew just focusing on clearing out some camps for himself, trying to keep up momentum and farm. But 496, a bit of a slower start. Their support's just not in a position to really find fights or find openings here. And that's something Boom's lineup is just super happy to play up against. Kescute gets space to snipe out a few bounties as well. Just looks like Boom should be able to secure themselves 3 bounties here at the 5-minute mark as well.
Good news for Boom. Makoto's just been left in the mid lane by himself, by the way. But we are going to see the TP back now from Drew, but it looks like he's just struggling way too much in this laning phase. It is very hard up against Makoto, especially when he is on his Queen of Pain, and with that level 3 Shadow Strike, it does make it basically impossible for Drew to farm. He's gone back to the jungle now, and he's just going to secure farm there instead. It's probably pretty good he did as well, because Hyde has made the rotation down to the Snapfire now to try and set up for a kill attempt. They might be able to get Jokam instead, however. He has shown up to try and soak some XP and get some farm himself, but knowing Makoto, he probably will dive the tier 1 tower for this kill if the opportunity is there. In fact, there it is. We'll go for the Shadow Strike. Jokam really has nowhere to go. Go for a lift, but he is definitely going to end up dying, and they do force the rotation from Bombi, but Bombi might be dead as well. Makoto has a Haze Rune. is going to come back for that Phoenix. It's just a free kill. Icarus dive away. Makoto could blink after it, but Drew does pop up. Makoto now forced to blink out. JoeCam even being forced to TP into this mid lane. A lot of forced rotations here from Boom Esports.
Yeah, and you're going to be happy if you're Boom. You're just freeing up space up top. You are seeing Hung start to maybe find a little bit more farm from this movement. 32 to 8, 33 to 8 now compared to FBZ's 30 to 5. But you're getting the AP up here. You're not under threat of dying now if you're Dreaming Cell. So just that fact alone, just dealing with one minus attack damage skill for Dreaming Cell does make it easier to secure last hits with the Stifling Dagger. And it's just good times overall. Like, 496 are still not too far behind, or less than 1k, so Hung still finding some good farm. Has to be cautious.
Gonna set up here onto the Monkey King with the Sonic Wave out from Makoto, and it's a very nice combination here from Boom Esports. It's a 5-0 gone, 7.5 minutes in. 496 yet to pick up a kill.
Yeah, and it's not lining up too well so far for 496. There's only 3 neutral items.
Playing with fire there. Very, very close call for him, but he does get the timing right on that Icarus dive. It's a really tough time for Drew as well. He's just stuck jungling this whole time.
Yeah, this is one weakness of 496's draft. They went for pretty much 2 hard farming cores, right? You've got a Troll, you've got a Monkey King. The Monkey perhaps not as farm heavy, but still needs initial farm to really get running. And that just means 496 has 2 heroes that just need to sit back and farm. Boom only has 1 that needs to play that way. So they've got much more aggression coming out here. They're looking at that top tier 1. 496 not quite in position to really clear the bot tier 1, but Hung is around there to farm instead. Maybe you can get some chip damage done to force a response out from Boom soon.
Yes, cute. Gonna get ravaged here by that BB. I mean, I suppose so, right? Like, it's your first ravage of the game, you may as well. But because you used that ravage, top tier 1's gone, and if Boom really want to, they could defend the bot tier 1 tower, or they could just rotate mid, as Dreamosaur's already done, and just go for the mid tier 1, because you know 496 cannot fight you.
Yeah, I mean, TP forward for that BB, but what does that really do?
He's frontlining, but there's an arena out from FBZ now into JoeCam. However, he does miss the spear, but it really just won't matter. They'll kill off the Rubik, and I imagine they will continue going towards that mid-tier 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a straightforward take. Again, that BB can only stall for so much. I like the build up here from Dreamocell as well. Going for the Desolator first, so can have a lot more damage than that BB.
Tried to stick around. He really wanted to defend that tower, but could not do so. Still, he will survive in the end, but Boom's just getting everything they could ask for. In fact, FBZ going to run straight back in with the spear around, and now the Sonic Wave. Makoto has had enough of the games. Let's just take care of him quickly and easily.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
7-2 at 10 minutes.
Yeah, and 496 still struggling to get a foothold here. It's just this greedy draft. I'm not sure what they expect Hung to do, while Drew's also playing the farming game. And I'm looking at Drew, he's not going for the Battle Fury build, which I appreciate, but he's going for an MKB rush control to deal with a PA, and I get they kind of lack Magic Burst to handle Remocell here, but an MKB rush on a Troll sounds very, very slow. I think you're going to have to stall out for this Troll anyway because of this, compared to, say, an SNY. Going for a disassembly play there. It's going to be a while until Drew's online because of an MKB rush. That means Hung is going to have to pick up the pace, and it's Hung who goes for the SNY on the Monkey King. So we'll see if that will help him get some activity on the map for his team.
My main concern here for 496, though, is like Makoto's going to go for this Orchid build-up. Once the Orchid's up, you've got no defensive capability against them. Like, what are you going to do to avoid this Orchid? Pretty much everyone but the Tidehunter is susceptible to dying to it.
Yeah, and speaking of, I'm looking at Hung. He's jumping around, pop a smoke.
One of his kids is flying in. FBZ, nice easy spear into the arena. Hung really has no way out. He's just eventually going to die on. Oh, he gets a Chicken Mastery procs. Hyde? Actually going to be the one to die. And now the lift up onto FBZ. They're going to turn this one back around. Another spear around from FBZ. He still has no help on the way, however. The Fire Spirit's out from Bombi, slowing down the attack speed enough so they could not finish off the monkey.
Yeah, it's spectacular play from Bombi. It's the level 1 Sunray as well, healing up enough. And it's going to be an issue as they start to invade the jungle now.
Look after Dream Assault for a second, but he's going to be fine. He'll go back towards the triangle and keep farming towards that Desolator. Meanwhile, Makoto's just been consistently pushing out the top wave, forcing it into that tier 2 tower. He's still top of the net worth board, this Queen of Pain. Still having a great old time. Again, I still have the same question as well, John. Like, you don't see anything like a BKB or Yules being built up. Or the Manta for that matter.
Yep.
This MKB and SNY rush is not going to feel very good if Makoto has the Orchid up in a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's really just such a greedy play from 496. I think when you have this SNY or the MKB, you will have to be the aggressors. You need to get the jump first, which means you will have to play with your Ravage, your Egg, and try to initiate there, although they at least catch out Hyde.
Hung being able to pick up another kill on the Monkey King. Having a decent old time, Hung. While mid lane, Dreamer's Soul is going to get Icarus dived on with some Fire Spirits to fly out, but he'll be able to just jump his way out of there. Does have enough money for the second Mithril Hammer, but looks like he just wants to buy everything outright and needs a couple hundred more gold for the Blightstone now.
Yeah, it's not too far off. That's going to be a major spike for RPA, so 496 will have to watch out. They have dragged the net worth lead their way, though. Less than 1k, but they are up there.
Zombie being caught. Sonic Wave going to be committed there by Makoto. No time being wasted. Now a smoke up from 496. But they are going to be fighting into the Orchid now of Makoto. Well, unless they run into him, this could be pretty bad news. They have spotted him out. That BB does have the Ravage and will commit it straight away. Makoto is just going to get perma-stun. Nice rotation out from 496. The rest of Boom Esports, for now, just uninterested in fighting. And just trying to secure more farm onto Dreamercell. And oh, he's got the Deso up now, John. He just needs a BKB and he should be about ready to go.
Start the leading heroes off the bat. Now, I mean, if they get a good opportunity, I think Dreamercell shouldn't shy away from it. But they will have to wait a little bit longer. They know there's no Ravage here from that BB. They can kind of jump in. They have RP on their end. There's no Blinking Kescute, still a ways off. But they can force without the Ravage, 496's teamfight is down to the Egg. And Bombi's a great Phoenix player, but the Egg alone is just not reliable enough to really win out these fights.
Looks like Dreamercell wants to have a crack here. It's cute, sticking around, but decides better of it. That BB he's working towards a Blink Dagger. So just wanting that initiation tool on the Tide. Even with these recent kills that 496 has gotten, you look at that net worth board and it just... They are still just sitting at the top, Makoto and Dreamercell. But Makoto may have gone too far again, and yeah, he definitely has. 496 just punishing Makoto for this this forward movement.
It's been about a full minute of downtime from Mikado dying, and he hasn't used that Orchid yet. He needs to get that nice and doubled out.
He's going to fly out with the Monomus Kiss to come in, but that's really a defensive RP being committed there.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, no real follow-up to it, and it looks like with all those spells being committed, 496, they want to try and have a crack at this Roshan. However, there is an arena going on in the back lines. Bombi has died. Roshan's still happening. 496, they're kind of just ignoring the fact that that ever happened. Just don't seem to care about it, but Spear is going to give a bit of vision here for FBZ. Wukong's command is out, but FBZ just jumps straight in with the Sonic Wave out. Now the Ravage has been committed to that BB. He does allow Drew to pick up the Aegis. Have they found another? Makoto. Gonna be alright. He blinks out of there. 496, they got what they came for, and I'm not sure what Boom Esports have done, but
Is under
a
attack.
bit of an awkward situation here as 496 now. They've got a bit of momentum behind them.
Yep, 2K lead, 3K now for 496. We talked about them stalling out for the MKB. Drew's very close to it. Blitz Knuckles about to be bought out, and then that's just 550 for the recipe on that Trolls MKB. So it's going to be up. Even the BKB is not too far behind as he is queuing it up. Hung has his SNY, rushing the Ags. And for all the talk we've had about Mikado's Orchid, he hasn't used it, so it hasn't been a factor at all in any of these fights. They need to find a way to maximize this pickup on their Quap. It's just kind of falling flat without using that investment.
Hung, getting it jumped on now. There's the Orchid, but yeah, it's feeling a bit too late now. Skewer out, Kescue, he had the RP, but just did not want to commit it. Dreamer's Cell, he's going to jump in anyway. A stolen arena there from Joe Cam. Dreamer's Cell just forced to blink out. Drew is chasing to try and go for some kills here. Feeling confident with that Aegis. Let's pop the battle trance a bit early on. Dreamer's Cell. Rather FBZ trying to get out of there. Will spear away the troll. Looks like that'll be about it. That BB gonna chase down Hyde a little bit longer. Kodo will just make sure he's protected.
It's really awkward for Boom. These trades are not going smoothly. The execution's falling a bit flat. 496 is winning out. Again, maintaining that 3K lead. Drew perfectly timed there with the MKB. He's now a major threat to that PA. There's no durability here for Dreamocell. The BKB is almost done though. So you're going to have a good ramp up there for our PA, at least standing in front with a BKB. But the troll will melt you if you give him a chance. And Drew's in a really good spot now to take over. It's starting to look like the Trolls game. They have lined up their team fight a lot better than 496 with the Ravage uses, with the egg drops. Boom. They need to play with Kescute, but this Blink Dagger in our Magnus is way too slow. He's always just standing in the middle, which is super awkward and getting good position. And Kescute needs to get some farm priority. He needs to just be able to sit back and save for the Blink, and after that you have Blink Mars, Blink Magnus. You can play with the Blink RP plus Arena.
Well, they're going to go for a big smoke up here, 496.
Dire should look to their top tower. Dire are scanning for enemies.
They fought out there. It's going to be Dreamer's Cell. That's a big one. Dreamer's Cell, that is going to be his first death of the game, as they were looking for a bit more, but they couldn't quite catch out the Magnus. Cam, he's been straight into Makoto. Sonic Wave, not actually going to connect on the Rubik, and now it's stolen by Joe Cam.
Exquisite.
Oh, Makoto.
It's not lining up for Mikado right now. The Orchid again still falling flat, just not getting the burst off kills they want. 10 to 12, 20 minutes in. 4K lead for 496. They found the tier 1 mid. Drew is just growing bigger and bigger. BKB just about 1,000 gold away. And once you have that, again, the Troll's going to be very scary here to go up against. You do have the BKB up on Dreamocell, rushing the Ags on a PA, but it feels like it's going to be a while until Dreamocell gets the space out for that. Again, need to see the reprioritization here from Boom. And need the blink on Kescute. You can't expect him to make plays without it.
Smoke up. They're going to try and make something happen. It's 10-second BKB charge on Dreamer's Cell. We'll see what he can get done. Bombi does get spotted, but it's kind of hard to lock him down. You get spotted now with the smoke broken. That BB can start moving his way up. Doesn't even have Ravage. He just feels that confident to just keep walking forward. Now Hung goes for the Balor Strike. They'll go straight up to Kesku, but there's your Arena being dropped by FBZ. They do kill off Hung. They also get Kesku, however, so 1-for-1 so far. But there will be a buyback out from Kesku. So he does still have the RP available on that Magnus, and now Dreamersaw jumping back in after Drew. A nice spear out through the Battle Trance. Drew still trying to fight through the Battle Trance, but Dreamersaw just going to Blink Strike away. Kesku going to come back in with the RP now on the Troll. They do get 4. There is only 1 left from the side of 496, and that is going to be that BB. He can try to fight back, but there's really no way to. It will be a full team wipe out. Boom Esports, they clean him up.
Oh, just messy for 496, not managing to get the team fight lined up. They fought without Ravage. The egg was popping back again. Without Ravage, you have nothing else to combine with that. Maybe the Wukongs, but Hung was taken out way too quick. And the issue of BKBs now come into play. Hung without a BKB is going to be super vulnerable to that. The BKB here for Drew is still being saved up for. Because of that, it's going to be stalled out even further. So they need to get these saving items first on at least 1 core. If not, then wait for Ravage before they fight, because when they fight without it, it's easy enough for Boom to kind of split up, get the focus out on the key heroes first, and start to win the fight 1 by 1.
Hung gonna move in now onto Hyde. He's gonna try and cookie out of there, but Hyde ultimately will just be dead. Both teams back to the drawing board, just trying to secure those core items they require. Especially Drew, who definitely needs that BKB up ASAP. Dreamersaw's only about, what, 800 gold away from the full Aghanim Scepter if he wants it. Does buy all the components apart from the point booster now.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
They're gonna go hunting with the smoke. They've got vision top jungle. They should know, they should have a bit of an idea, but they are smoking into Ravage. Have to be cautious.
They do. That BB will break the smoke. Kodo's already popped the double damage rune.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bobby has an arcane rune now, so he would definitely love to fight at the moment if he could. They are only about 450 gold away from having the full Aghanim Scepter up on the Monkey, though. Could be a bit preemptive, but as I say that, Dreamersaw has his own Ags up now.
Yep. Yeah. Blur is now in play. There's a lot more sneaking around Dreamersaw can get done. So 496 have to be a bit cautious. Dreamersaw's got a lot of leeway to just be highly mobile. Has his level 20 as well. And that should be the armor corruption, and it is. You've got additional minus armor in play, just to be able to melt through these heroes if they're not careful. 496, losing a few objectives, trying to trade even. Just working the map as best they can. They find a tier 1 up top now as well. They're keeping control. But as the game goes on, I think what it boils down to is the team fight spell. It boils down to Ravage versus RP, Kisses versus Egg. There's a little bit more utility on 496, but the RP is always going to pierce through BKBs. I think that's always going to be something they have to watch out for. They have finished BKBs on Drew and the Ags on Hung, so that's their cue to smoke now as well in 496.
They're going to run right into each other. Drew going to spot out Dreamersaw. This is the Dream Start if they can get him, and they do pop the Ravage, and that is going to be a PA gone without buyback. Arena going to be dropped by FBZ. Just try and hold them back, but Drew, he's got the ensnares off. FBZ also to go down. Well, they could not pop the BKB on the PA. Just wasn't there in time.
Yeah, it's a pretty late reaction there from Dreamersaw and kind of turn around. Like, he was under his blur, He did not realize he popped the smoke, mainly because nighttime vision is so short. So he just didn't have the advantage there. And really good play from 496. That widens your lead up to 6k. They start to go for a tier 2, and when you've got this troll around who's this farmed, you can just melt right through those objectives.
And he will try to do it. Fortification is going to be forced here at this top tier 3 tower, but they've got 20 seconds without the PA. They want to make something happen. That they will. Tier 3 tower to go down. That'll pretty much be it, but Makoto is looking to jump in. It's even a Roshan play now.
Perfect timing for 496. Right into the safer objective. Boom still hold on to RP. They do have Arena back up. Kisses is the only spell down for half a minute. And they can start to look into the Rosh. Safer play from 496 as they pull back. They know they don't have Ravage. It's a bit of a risk with only the egg. So they're not going to tempt fate. They have, they want to secure themselves a ramp up. And there's no rush. I think when you've got double cores like this, you are on a good point. Keskut's just not getting the farm he needs on a Magnus. So the RP is not really a factor when he can't start these fights for Boom. They just need to somehow get that farm up. If not the blink on Magnus, then the gobble up from the snap has to come in to enable some form of cleaner initiation here beyond just the arena.
Remusov's gonna just use the blur and walk his way into that Roshan pit. Be fairly obvious for 496 considering Hung is on top of a tree as we speak, but Arena in the back lines, they have caught out Bombi on the Phoenix and they do burst him down in time. One of his kisses being stolen by the Rubik, being thrown back the way of Boom. The Roshan pit it is for Drew, but he does get speared up into a crit from that dagger.
Scary Roche fight. That BB has Ravage. Have to be cautious.
Ravage is going to be out that BB. Again, no BKB used from Dreamercell, and now they've lost the Magnus. Oh, the Monkey King going to jump in. Hung, he's got control over Hyde now. They're just going to secure that Roshan with Drew. Hyde is just certainly dead. And all three heroes that went down, no buybacks.
Ooh, boy. This is really bad for Dreamercell. He still has a 9-second BKB. The gobble up play came out, but no RP could fly through because it wasn't lined up with her PA. The execution of Boom is just falling flat. There is a way to win here, but they're not lining it up. 496 just on point with her movement, and Joken does fall at the least.
It does. No matter whether it really matters.
No.
Seems like the side of 496 will not really give a crap whether their Rubik is there or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have stolen spells, but for the most part, they still have Egg, they still have Wukongs here. They don't have to worry about the PA for a bit more. They take a melee Rex and pull back. Again, just safe plays from 496. They know there's an opportunity for Boom to jump back in. And it's just smart, conservative plays from 496. Probably going to wait for the next Ravage in a minute. Once you've got that, you can choose to go back in. Ravage Egg, Wukong's can be really strong in the high ground. There are some more BKBs here from Boom though. BKB up on FBZ. We'll see if he can get that off in the middle of the fights. There's still some crazy burst potential from Boom. They just have to get their team fights. Play with a gobble up RP, and you can start winning fights from there for Boom ID in Esports. Sorry.
Well, for now, they don't seem too interested in a team fight. Of course, they are 11k net worth behind. Dreamercell is still very strong, however, on this PA. It only takes a crit or two to really turn this game around.
Yeah. We saw him kind of just delete Bombi in the previous fight as well. They've got that opportunity. It's just, look at this, 496 smoke in behind. Might be able to find something.
It's probably the way to do it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The Drew's just trying to finish off that Satanic. I just have it. I believe he's got it on the courier now.
Also managed to save up here on the side of Boom for Kesky to find a blink. So they don't necessarily have to just play with Gobble Up. There's also the blink RP in the pool. Now that complicates the high ground for 496. But if they're looking to play there, they have to be aware that the RP is still an option and kind of play spaced out a little bit more than they'd like. And there you go, that lovely still for Jokam. That's the Empower play coming out for Drew, and he just melts towers.
And he does. Another glyph to be forced down. It's like they're just gonna start slowly working towards that bot wave.
They've already built up Hung here. They're still holding on to the cheese here on Hung. They've still got that option on the Monkey. Of course, they've still got the Aegis here and Drew. The Satanic is done. Gonna be into the Abyssal next. So this push into the tier 2 should be relatively safe. You can see Boom just playing in the triangle on the high ground. Safest part of the map for them outside of base. But with the tier 2 gone, they should know the high ground's next. Good forward ward from 496 to watch that potential RP. And they're going to need to get some D-wards out if Boom wants to play the defense here.
Oh, there is the toss in onto Kesku with a nice skewer back. It's all going to be out onto that Drew pro warlord, but he's going to be alright. He doesn't even pop the battle trance. And he still has the Aegis as well. Drew now popping a lot of damage here. Needs to turn back around with the battle trance and BKB. But go after Dreamer Cell. Everyone is just surviving on the side of Boom Esports. So they get the T3 tower and they back off. But Makoto will turn around and try to punish here.
He blew the Ravage at some point. I just didn't notice on what. All the sorry spams just kind of coming out there. The team fight not quite lining up for 496. And, I mean, they find a tier 3, but just can't really transition to anything else. There is still an RP from Boom. The threat of that alone is enough to keep them at bay. You see the damage that Hyde can pump in, right? Like, if they stand in these kisses on the high ground, they can still melt. So 496 just a little bit more safeguarding themselves, just pulling back and waiting out. 34 minutes in, 10k lead. It is big, but you are still number 1 here with Dreamwhistle. Like, he is actually number 1 in that word. Satanic is flying through. So no buyback on our PA. That could be a scary situation if Dreamwhistle does step out of line just a tad.
They're going to try and smoke up again. See if they can get a big team fight that goes their way here, Boom Esports. It only takes one.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
It's a matter of how you find your way onto the high ground. It's quite difficult, but no, never mind. Dreamwhistle just literally walks up, and now they do go after that BB. He is going to eventually go down, but looks like Drew wants to get some form of a trade, but a nice skewer up. Kescute has clipped himself, unfortunately. He's going to try and TP out there, but Drew is just hitting so darn hard. He's trying to be, trying to make a cute play, but it does cost him in the end. He did have the RP. He could have probably just RP'd and tried to secure an easy kill onto Drew, but decided better of it. They do jump in, however, onto that troll, but he is alive. Now the stolen Sonic Wave and the Ravage out. Drew also just surviving, committing the ultimate. Hung, just chasing Makoto, trying to TP up, but it is not going to make it. He is not happy.
definitely not. Boom. Lots of missed opportunities. 496 managed to win out in the end. Ags out for Jokam. Bot rack's gone. Mid rack's next. They still have the RP, and I feel like I've said that for like at least 3 to 4 fights now, Mike. But it's there, just waiting for Kescu, waiting
too
for it
late,
to come
John.
out.
You've got essentially a minute on each of your main cores here before they're up again. And Drew realizes it now. He's going to go for those T4 towers. Skewer back. It's going to be a lift up onto Magnus. Now with the Battle Strike out. Oh, Kescute. He's going to try an RP, but doesn't really get there in the end. And Goblop stolen by our Ruby, funnily enough.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see what Jokam can do. Maybe. He plays good. Come on.
Kescute continues skewering in, but he's almost certainly just going to tie, and yeah, he's gone. He'll buy back. They'll fortify the throne. Jumps in onto that BB, but he's been gobbled up by Jokam. He's been tossed back out of the base. A great little play out from Jokam. Now the egg does explode through. Wants to go for a dive. Oh, that's a big RP out from our Magnus, but it may not matter as they do skewer him back. But the RP was stolen by Jokam. It still doesn't matter. They are tying to the fountain. But the Ancient, look at the Ancient just going down in HP. The game's over. A very fun ending for us between these two, but ultimately another tie.
Yeah, just drawn series across the board today so far. Lots of really close matchups, and 496 managing to pull it out. The Dat BB tied, delivering once more. The dual core of Monkey King Troll not being punished. Boom Esports not playing as fast as we'd expect, kind of sitting around, cost them in the end, as Jokam, former teammate, does come out on top here, Mike.
With that, of course, that's it for tonight, John. I think it's about time we head off to bed and wake up revitalized for tomorrow. So thank you everyone for watching. Apologies about any missed kills or anything like that. We are I'm a little bit out of it right now, but tomorrow will be a beautiful day, I'm sure. After like a 15-hour sleep. It's MLP Dota and JohnXFire. We'll see you all again tomorrow for some more great SEA Dota. See you then.